morning again, Green Spring. You know, coming down here this morning to the television station, I saw this guy in the hall with a happy birthday balloon over his head, and lo and behold, he turns into the station and he's sitting next to me. Franklin Finez, who's our sales manager for Green Spring, and he's been here about 14 years. So good morning, Franklin.
Good morning. Thanks
for having me. Good to have you. So your birthday today.
Yeah, I am. I'm celebrating a birthday. Excited to be with our residents today, celebrating it.
And you've been here 14 years.
I have, yes.
Where'd you start at?
Yeah, so my story is awesome. I started in the dining program. Yeah. Well, the reality is I started as a volunteer.
Yeah. Volunteer?
I did. I started as a volunteer. Yeah, so I started as a volunteer, helping out at the community. I remember I had a thing for IT, so I used to help residents with their computers. Ah. And when I was eligible to work, I started working in the dining program, in the student program, and everything took off from there. I had some time in general services, which I really enjoyed that time.
What did you do in general services?
Oh my gosh. So we worked in the afternoon. Yeah. So in the afternoons, it tends to be a smaller group. And so although I was on the housekeeping team, I did a little maintenance. We did a little bit of security. We all really work together to offer the right customer service to our residents.
So you have a good experience here to be on the sales group.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why they approached me. Is that right? Almost what, 9 years ago?
Yeah.
You know, they really wanted me to be a part of their team to talk firsthand on what our residents get to experience every day. You know, I told them, hey, I'm not a salesman, but they told me, look, you're not gonna sell a day in your life. It's really about just telling folks what life is like here.
I think the title of your group is Sales and Information.
It is, yeah.
So you're part of the information.
I'm part of the information group. I would say most of my team is part of sales. That's right. That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell us about sales. What's our occupancy rate? That's always
the important question. We're as a sales office, we're always striving to be in high 97 into 98%. That's really our goal. So you know, as the community gets older, you know, it takes a little bit longer to get our apartments ready and things like that, and finding the next customer. As you can imagine, most folks who are moving into the community now have a home to sell and things like that. So it just takes a little bit longer nowadays. You know, for many residents who are living here now, they know one of the biggest things that took the most time was the downsizing piece. And so we've created some great services now within our office to help folks with that entire process.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, definitely. We have someone who will go out to someone's home, really listen to the things that they're concerned about. Yeah. I'm talking specifically about Lauren Askey. Many of you know her from her philanthropy days. But she's really blossomed into this wonderful person in this, I like to call her the accountability coach, right? To help folks start downsizing, learning about the real estate market, learning about what they're going to need to do to sell their home.
I forget the name of the lady that did that when I came in.
Yeah, that was probably Anna.
Anna Reeves.
So she retired.
Yeah.
But before she retired, she trained Lauren very well.
Good.
And so Lauren's taking it from there.
Yeah, because Anna came in my house and told me about it.
Yeah, Anna started the program here. She found the right services, the right people, the right group to support our residents, and that team is still here today, making sure that they're offering the best level of service to our residents in their homes.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, what's next? What?
Yeah. So the other things that we're doing, especially for this year, is my team is really thinking about innovation. So David and I have asked our teams to really think about what it is that we're doing on a daily basis, and could we do it better? Could our prospective residents enjoy a better product or a better service? And so we're trying new events. We're trying different experiences. I have my colleague Maya. She actually is the one who puts together. We call it Live the Life Experience Green Spring. So it's where our priority list members, folks on our waiting list, can come over and spend a night or two here at Green Spring to see what life is like.
Oh, good.
And so that's really taken off. Maya's doing a fabulous job of putting together an itinerary, working with our residents who are living here to take those guests to the restaurants for lunch, for dinner, telling them what's going on in the community, and having them be a part of activities. So it's a great experience overall.
I've had a dinner with a couple of new ones that came in, and I appreciated that. I enjoy meeting new residents and talking with them about Green Spring, because to me Green Spring is a great place to live. So I'm happy to be able to encourage our new residents, you know.
And I would say you, along with all of our residents, make the biggest impact. You know, I would say the reason why this program is really successful is because they get to see it and hear about it firsthand. So when you're able to talk to someone about what life is like with you living here, it makes a huge difference. I would say the grand majority of the people who end up being a part of the program and spend the night here eventually move in, if not that same year, the following year.
Yeah, well, I certainly like to encourage them to get involved, to, you know, meet other people and begin to do things very early in their stint here, because there's just so many things to do, and we have fun doing them, you know.
Exactly, and I think what I love is that every resident here has the choice to be as active or as inactive as they want to be. And so I think sometimes folks lose sight of that, you know, when they're thinking about Green Spring, they're thinking, oh, you know, what kind of apartments do they have? But the reality is what we get to enjoy every single day is a beautiful lifestyle where we get to share our gifts with everyone, right? And make these wonderful relationships. And so when people get to experience that firsthand, I think that really makes the difference. And I think it's a powerful message.
Yeah, and we do make good, we make good friends. One of the only sad part about being here is we lose good friends, and so that's not part of our sales pitch.
No, but here's the thing. I think the beauty of it is when you look at the alternative, we wouldn't have been able to have those friendships to begin with.
That's right.
Right.
And you wouldn't have people that have thoughts of you the same number.
Exactly. I always tell folks when I'm meeting with them, Green Spring really is a family.
Yeah, that's right.
Not just among the residents, but with the staff too.
Well, and the families are several, because I have my bridge families, I have my table family, you know, I have my country music family, and they're all very close to me. You know, I enjoy all of those facets.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I love is each one of those groups, if for whatever reason you don't show up, they're a phone call away, making sure that you're okay.
Well, that's true, and we do that. Absolutely.
And I love that. It's such a great support system that I think we all need. And so I just love coming in every day and seeing that firsthand. And I try to replicate that outside of Green Spring. It's a little bit harder because people don't necessarily, you know, when I go to the store, hey, good morning, how are you? And folks kind of are taken back like, who are you? But that's really, again, it's something that Green Spring is about.
I've noticed that on the first floor over in Parkview, you're combining 2 apartments into one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's something that we started a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Combining apartments. We call them custom 2-bedroom, 2 baths.
Yeah.
And so the thought process behind it is, you know, when we talk to our waiting list, folks are really looking for the bigger units. And so what we find is when there's a particular opportunity where just so happens that we get an apartment side by side, we take a look and we say, is this something that we could realistically put together, and do we have a prospective resident for it? And so we do a lot of the research in the back end. I can tell you that these projects generally take about a year to do.
Oh.
It takes that long just because you have to work with so many different partners. You have to work with the county, you know, because there's permitting involved and things like that. And so I generally, for the most part, can do about 2 or 3 a year.
Well, when I came, we had 1,410 apartments. How many do we have now?
Yeah, so we're under 1,400 now. We're about 1,395, I believe.
Yeah, we've taken one out for the library temporarily, and that included in 1,395.
Correct.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's eventually, once we're all done, that's going to come back. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, we're trying to figure out what that magic number is for Green Spring.
Yeah.
But you know, if it makes sense, we'll do it.
Okay. What else do you have for us?
Yeah. So, like I said, the office is working on so many incredible things. One of the things that I'm most excited about that residents are going to get to see is we did a photo shoot last year with some of your neighbors.
Oh.
We took photos over by the pond, doing activities here at Green Spring. And the images finally came back, and so we're actually going to put those on portraits, and we're going to put them around the office so that folks, when we're meeting with them, can see residents who live here doing the things that we talk about.
In action.
Yeah, in action. So we're really excited about it. So You know, once I have those up, love to have folks come by, take a look at them. We're excited.
Yeah, good. Now you've already had a couple of events this month, haven't you? You got any others for the?
We do. So the biggest one that I want to make sure individuals know about is our expo.
Yeah.
So
When is that?
So on March 6th,
Okay.
I want all the residents to know we're going to have about 200 plus people here at Green Spring. We're going to have it in Hunter's Crossing, so I want everyone to be ready. It's going to be a hectic day. There's going to be a lot of activity, but that really sets us up for the entire year.
Yeah.
It shows individuals who are interested in moving this year what's available, so that they can reserve an apartment and move forward through the process.
And that's where a lot of us get to participate.
That's
also with tables and.
Right. So we have 2 expos a year, and so we do a spring and a fall. And generally, the fall is the one where we have residents contribute with tables. The spring one is really where you're going to see our vendors who help folks in their home here on the property to answer questions and to set up appointments and things like that. So that's really what the spring one is about.
Okay, we got about 1 minute left. So what else do you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I love was the event we had yesterday. So we did a priority list reunion, and what we did was we invited 100 of our great friends who all joined throughout the 2000s and late 90s to learn about what's happening at Green Spring. And so it was a great turnout, a lot of information that went out there, and I'm just excited that folks who have been on the priority list for 10 plus years are still really excited about Green Spring and looking forward to moving in.
Well, good. Well, Franklin, thank you very much for coming today and telling us about sales and information.
I appreciate the time.
It's always good to talk with you all about what's going on in sales, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
We like to keep Green Spring full.
Absolutely. We'll make sure we keep it that way.
All right. Well, thank you very much.